Was chewing cloven-hooved ungulates. Welcome back to Monkey Boys Toys, and welcome back to the sofa. Thanks very much for joining me again, and Merry Christmas. Here's a turkey to look at. Now, today I'm going to be showing you guys my Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles collection, which has very kindly been pieced together for me over a period of time by the lovely Chris over at Eastern Toys and Collectibles. I will leave a link to Chris's website in the description of the video. Now, the Turtles line was originally produced in 1988 by Playmates Toys and was popular right through the 90s and still in fact is popular today. But I will be showing you the core characters that Chris has managed to source for me. They're all in great condition and I was really happy to add these to the collection. So without further ado, let's remove the turkey from the scene. Right, there we go. And let's bring in the first turtle, who is the leader, and it's Leonardo. I'm sorry that the lighting isn't particularly good for him. Let me see if I can just adjust the... Is that any better? Not really. Anyway, here's Leonardo with his katana swords in very good condition. Really happy to get him. So yep, here's Leonardo. There is space on the back where he can store his swords. Let me see if I can get another light on the scene. Doesn't really help, does it? Anyway, there we go. So there's Leonardo. Now, all of the turtles came with a sprue that had various weapons attached to it. They had a sort of pointy knife type thing, another strange whatever that is, a couple of throwing stars, shuriken here, and this weapon here. Now, if anyone can tell me what that weapon is called, I'd like to know. I haven't done the bare minimum of research, but anyway, there you go. So they all came, or the turtles and Shredder came with this sprue with these items on it. Now, all the items that I got from Chris are complete with all the weapons, with the exception of one of Michelangelo's nunchucks. But aside from that, they're all complete. So yeah, anyway, here we go. There's Leonardo. Let's pop him to the back. Next up, we've got Raphael. Here is Raph with his Sai weapons. These can be stored on the front of Raph's belt. Let me just see if I can get that out of his hand. I'm just spinning his hand around. These can be stored here on the front of Raph's belt. But there we go. There's Raphael again in great condition. Really happy to have him. There is storage on the back here for one of those strange triangular shaped knife items as well. There we go. There's Raphael. Let's pop him at the back there. Cool. Next up, we've got Michelangelo with his nunchuck there. Now, as I said earlier, unfortunately, Mikey didn't come with two nunchucks. I shall try and source one of those at a later time. But there we go. There's the storage on the back for the nunchucks. So there's Mikey. Let's pop him there. I'll try and get through these fairly quickly so that you're not spending all day watching this video. I mean, most of you are going to be aware of and familiar with these figures anyway. So next up, we've got Donatello with his bow staffs. There's storage on the back for one of his bow staff there. And so yeah, there we go. There's Donatello again, fantastic condition. Really happy with these. None of these figures have gone sticky or anything like that, so they're all in fantastic condition. I did specifically mention to Chris that I was after ones that hadn't gone sticky. In case any of you are wondering, these are all the hard head versions. The turtles, when they originally were released, had soft heads, soft squishy heads, but they are very expensive to get now and not that easy to find. So yeah, anyway, next up we've got the intrepid reporter April O'Neil. Now Chris threw this one in with the bundle for me. She doesn't have her accessories, her microphone, her video camera, and the secret gun that fits into the video camera. I don't have those, but I'm very happy to have April in the collection. A Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles lineup isn't quite the same without April. So there she is. I'll pop her off to the at the end here. There we go. There's April. Oh, and the Turtles sign on her back is in great condition. That hasn't rubbed off or anything. So thanks, Chris, for that. That's great. Let's pop her there. Next up, I have shown this figure on the channel before because I picked this up from Chris a little earlier, but I think it's worth showing the character again. This is Splinter. Now, Splinter is obviously the mentor and trainer of the Ninja Turtles, and here we see he's come complete with his bow and arrow. Now he does have his cane with him as well, but he has a sort of a walking stick that has a secret sword hidden inside it. I do have that. It's just off to the side of the camera, but the sheath kept falling off of the sword, and it was getting a bit annoying, so I decided to leave it to the side there. But he is complete with all his bits. So here is Splinter, the rat. There we go. He's got his sort of cape or his robe thing here, and his belt. So he's all complete. Very happy to have Splinter. There we go. Let's pop him just there. And next up we've got Bebop. Here is Bebop. Now Bebop is one of the henchmen of Shredder. Now Bebop comes with an interesting looking sort of drill gun thing here that you can see. He also comes with this dagger. A very colourful character, one of the more colourful characters in the line. He's really cool. He's obviously like a wild boar or some sort of creature like that. He's got his shades on, and his nice ring through his nose, and of course the turtle shell shoulder pad things. So he's very cool. He's got the skull round his neck, on a chain round his neck, and some bits and pieces, chains and stuff around his waist, and a little tail. So there we go. There's Bebop. He also comes with this dustbin lid, trash can lid accessory, which he uses as a shield. But he only has two hands, so I've got nowhere to put that at the moment. But anyway, there we go. There's Bebop, one of Shredder's henchmen. Let's stand him there. And next up, of course, we've got Rocksteady, the Rhino. Here we see him with the massive machine gun accessory that he comes with. He also comes with a combat sort of hunting knife item. Here we are. And a manhole cover, a city sewer manhole cover that he uses as a shield. But again, it's difficult for him to hold all three items at once. The gun doesn't particularly fit very well in his hands because of the way his muscles are here. If you have the gun in his hand, he always has to hold it at a bit of an angle, unless you rotate the forearm around, and he can hold it sort of on the side, gangster style. But it's not the most easy to pose him with, so I choose to have him with the gun in both hands like that. He's got thigh pads here, which again are turtle shells. I should mention actually all these characters have head articulation, shoulder articulation, leg articulation, and their forearms do rotate around as well, as you can see here. So all of the characters can do that. There we go. So there's Rocksteady, pretty cool. Next up we've got a foot soldier, which is quite an interesting looking character. He's very sort of hunched over, as you can see. They did look pretty cool. Now obviously there were many of these foot soldiers, so you could army build these if you wanted to. I only have the one, but a nice character nonetheless. Again, in great condition. We can see on his head the symbol for the Foot Clan there. And he's got interesting arm guards attached to his gauntlets there. A nice character. He comes with a hunting knife, this sort of pincer-like grabbing device that stores across his back there on the strap, and this sort of whatever this thing is it a flail or some sort of a mace on a flexible pole? But yeah, there we go. There's the foot soldier. Happy to have him. I won't get any more of these. I'll just have the one. I'm not going to army build this. Excuse me, this character. There we go. Sorry, I've got a frog in my throat. Or maybe it's a turtle. Next up, we've got Shredder. Now, this was always a peculiar character, or peculiar figure, because of the pose that he's in. It makes it very difficult to pose him properly. It's difficult to get him to stand because of the way his feet are angled. You have to splay his legs right out in order for him to stand. And his arm doesn't. Let me see. Does this one rotate? It rotates here again, but it only goes straight up and down at the side, and it makes it a little bit awkward to pose him with a sword in a believable manner. Well, I suppose that's all right, isn't it? Oh, it's fallen out now. He only sort of holds on to the sword with 2 fingers, because the other 2 fingers are closed, as you can see. So it does make it a little bit tricky. It never sits in his hand quite properly. And then he has this other hand which is sort of constantly stretched out. Of course, you can move the forearm around, but it's just a strange pose for an action figure. None of the others are posed quite the same as him, and he was always a little bit hunched over again. But anyway, there we go. There's Shredder, the main enemy of the Turtles. I'm happy to have him. His robe is in great condition, as you can see, and he's got the spikes and stuff on his gauntlets and on his shins there, and of course on his shoulders. So there's Shredder. It's also worth pointing out the strange Cro-Magnon forehead that he's got here. That was always a point of amusement amongst Turtle fans, that Shredder had this rather sort of strange eyebrow thing going on, where the paint of his helmet was omitted and they gave him eyebrows on the front instead. I think originally when this figure was designed, that ridge that you see along here, along the top of his up where his eyebrows are, I think that was supposed to have been painted blue as part of the helmet, but a decision was made to give him eyebrows, so he does look rather peculiar. Anyway, there's Shredder. Let's pop him there. And last up, we've got my personal favourite character, and you can all guess who it is, and you've seen the thumbnail. So here he is. It's Casey Jones, the vigilante warrior that helps the Turtles in their missions. Here he comes with I think this is supposed to be a golf club, but it's not like any golf club I've ever seen. Well, I suppose it looks like a putter in a way, but a rather large one. But anyway, there's Casey Jones's golf club. He also comes with, I believe, a couple of broken baseball bats. Well, that's what I've got. That's what Chris has supplied him with anyway. I assume that's correct. We've got a broken baseball bat here, and he's got another one in his hand. Someone will let me know if those accessories aren't right, but I think they are. And he stores those in a golf bag on his back. So yeah, there we go. Casey Jones, another quite a colourful figure. He's got a nice shoulder pad here, guard here on his shoulder, obviously, because it's a shoulder guard. But there we go. There's Casey Jones. We'll pop him there at the front. And there we go. So there we have my Turtles collection. Now, the only character that I think I might add to this is Baxter Stockman. But aside from that, I'm fairly happy with this collection. I'm not going to go and collect absolutely every variation and every new and every other line that was produced, because there were many. You guys may have seen my storage shell Turtles on the channel before. I got those recently, and I do have some other re-release characters in the pipeline that I'm going to be getting to keep on a card. But in terms of my loose collection, this is more or less going to be it, as I say, with the exception of possibly Baxter Stockman, which I might pick up in the future. So what do you think of that collection, guys? Do you think I did the right thing by pulling the trigger on that and getting these into the collection? Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was a line that I missed out on as a youngster because I was kind of at the wrong age in 1988 when they came out, and a couple of years later when they sort of were more available in the UK. I'd stopped playing with toys at that point, so I didn't really have. I think I might have had Leonardo, but that was about it. So I never collected the line as a kid, but I've got into it recently, and there is a small amount of nostalgia, I guess, with the line. So I'm pleased to have them in the collection now. So let me know what you thought of that, guys. If you did enjoy the video, please give it a thumbs up and share it with any other cloven-hoofed ungulates you may know. Do subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. And do leave me a comment, let me know what you thought of today's items. But for now, I'm just going to say Merry Christmas, and then I'm going to make like a shepherd and get the flock out of here. See you later. Bye.